Welcome back, 8th grade math teachers, to another Prep Talk video where we get you ready for your PLCs the week of September 26th as you and your awesome team get ready to plan the content that you'll teach the week of October 3rd. As always, these videos are meant to give you some real ideas about how you can be a contributing member to your PLC as your team plans the content for this week. As we take a look at the weekly overview, you'll notice that it's a pretty light week in the scope and sequence. We start Monday with a flex day where you can finish up equations if you need to, and then 2 days allotted for DCP testing. Then, once we get past the district checkpoint, we'll move into 8.8a and b, talking about inequalities. You'll notice that these are supporting standards because they're tested between 0 and 1 time every year. And 8A is a particularly high-flying supporting standard because it shows up every year on the STAR test. In this STAR release question, we're given this geometric context of a rectangle ABCD shown with the dimensions given in units. We are told that the length of AB is greater than the length of AD, which inequality represents this situation. It's oftentimes helpful to have students write down in their own words what they need to do in order to write this inequality. For example, this is wanting the length of AB to be greater than the length of AD. Writing that down will help me to figure out what I need to substitute into this verbal description of the inequality so that I can have the correct answer. In this particular case, what I notice is that we have the length of AB right here. It is 9x minus 16. And so I will just go ahead and write that down where I see length of AB. Then for the length of AD, that would be here, and we see that that is 1.5x plus 42. So, putting my greater than sign in the middle, what we notice as we compare answer choices with what we've written down is that B is the correct answer. However, one thing before we move on from this problem that I want you to notice is that it could have easily be written a different way. We could see this as 1.5x plus 42 is less than 9x minus 16. So you may want to have students practice writing the inequalities both ways so that they are not confused if the answer choice shows up a different way. Also notice that for answer choices C and D, these are for the students who try to simplify the inequality or at least start solving the inequality but did it incorrectly. So remind students that we do not have to solve the inequality. In fact, we never do that in 8th grade. All we have to do is be able to write the inequality given the real-world problem. For this real-world example, Helen had $330 in her savings account. Vince opened a savings account with $0, and we want to eventually know which inequality represents the situation when the amount of money in Helen's account was greater than the amount of money in Vince's account. So again, having students write down a verbal description of what they see in the problem, in this case that Helen needs to be greater than Vince. Then going back into the problem and seeing how to set up an expression for the amount of money Helen has and the amount of money that Vince has. What we notice is that Helen started her savings account with $330 and she deposited $30 into her account for each week for X weeks. That's going to indicate that we will multiply 30 by X in order to show that increase in Helen's account. And so we will have 30X for Helen plus her original or initial $330. Then for Vince, we know that he started with $0. We don't really need to write the 0, but just to emphasize that he did not start with any money. And then he is depositing $50 into his account each week for X weeks. So again, that will be 50 multiplied by X. Now, taking a look at our answer choices, we have 30X plus 330 greater than 50X. So if we wanted to rewrite that down below, let's make sure that we do it correctly. So 30x plus 330 is greater than 50x. But I do not see that as an answer choice. So this again is an example where students will have to be comfortable writing this a different way. 50x is less than 30x plus 330. If students just read greater in the question and then go for these two answer choices, they're not going to get the question correct. And so they have to actually go through this process of writing things down, dissecting the problem so that they can get the correct answer, which we see here is J. Our curriculum resources will really scaffold this process for students so that they are really able to immerse themselves into the problem, dissect what is going on, and then write a correct inequality given the real world situation. For TEK 8.8b, students will have to write a word problem given a one variable equation or inequality. And again, we are focusing on inequalities since we already did this with equations. This is similar to a skill that students worked on in 7th grade where they had to write a corresponding real world problem for a two-step inequality. But the difference here is that now we have variables on both sides of the equal sign. So again, our curriculum resources that you'll see in Eduphoria will do a nice job of having students scaffold the information so that they can try to work through a word problem that could be associated with the given inequality. What we notice here on the left-hand side is that we have 5 times x, and so we need to figure out what could the variable x be to then multiply by 5. And we can kind of see that all of the answer choices start out the same way, the cost of 5 notebooks. And so that 5 corresponds with the 5 that we see in the inequality. And then what we see next is a less than sign. And so that would lead me to believe that I would probably want to go after something that says is less than. So that's going to eliminate A and D. And then the difference between B and C is that B is talking about a $2 off coupon. Well, I know that a $2 off coupon is actually going to reduce the cost, and so that would lead to a -2 in the inequality. But we do not see -2, we see +2. And so letter C that says plus a $2 pen is going to be the better real world problem that fits this given inequality. And so letter C is going to be the correct answer here. You're going to want to talk through these different scenarios with your students of when would a situation be when we have minus versus when would we have plus in the real world situation. So that is a very quick look at inequalities associated with TEKS 8.8a and 8.8b. We would encourage you to look through the released items and go through any of the other questions that show up that fit the ones that are similar that we worked in this video. And if you have any questions as you go through the pre-planning process, please feel free to reach out to us through our office hours or by email. You can reach us on the office hours Tuesday, September 27th from 4 to 4:30. And then as always, before you go, please be sure to fill out our survey using the QR code to the left or the link provided on the screen. This survey will let us know that you watched the video and will help us to serve you better in future videos. You also have the opportunity to leave a question there and we will answer that on our FAQ link. Good luck to you and your team as you plan the content for the week of October 3rd, and as always, please feel free to reach out to either myself or to Paris Scott with any questions that you may have.